Hi, my name is Erin, and I write fantasy fiction and poetry.
And I'm K.R. House, and I write science fiction and fantasy.
And today we are going to be doing more of a kind of just for fun topic. We're going to be talking about some different fictional worlds and some speculative things that we enjoy, and kind of talking about what it would be like to live there. Is there one that kind of comes out on top, or just kind of like what are the pros and cons? The reason that I thought this would be fun is because I just have heard so many people be like, oh, it'd be so cool to live here. And then they completely forget that there's like the story written that takes place there. Usually people are like running from a monster. They're just talking about like the cool world building. It's like, you have to survive though.
True.
So I don't know. I just thought it would be funny to kind of like think about the cool things, but also those, and kind of see where it all shakes out after you look at those. So our first one is Middle Earth. So what would you define as like the main threats, or like things to be wary of if you lived in Middle Earth?
Well, if it's like Middle Earth at the time of Lord of the Rings, I mean, definitely Sauron and the orcs, and the Nazgul, right? Is that what they're called?
Those are the
ring wraiths. Yeah, the ring wraiths.
Well, I guess you only have to worry about that if you have the ring.
That's true. And theoretically, in this world, I guess, if we're there as us,
we don't necessarily.
If we're isekai into Middle Earth, we probably don't have the ring.
Right.
Yeah. And then there is, I feel at different periods the threats are different things. But I feel like Sauron and the orcs are like the biggest one.
Main, the ones that you really think of.
Yes.
I can't really think of any other main threats other than just like you've got like some different
like
creatures.
Smaug.
Yeah.
You say his name.
Yeah, and then Gollum kind of. He feels easy to avoid though. But yeah, so you've got other creatures like the spiders.
Yes,
too, to just watch out for.
Yes.
I mean, like I prefer our current world spiders to this.
Yes, absolutely.
In Middle Earth. Okay, so thinking about those things, what are some things that would make you want to live there?
Definitely the thing that would make me want to live in Middle Earth is the Shire. That is where I would want to live.
That's your main.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I guess the elves are cool. Like Rivendell, right? It's where the elves are, I think, or some of the elves.
Yeah.
But I would want to live in the Shire. I want to have parties all the time and argue with neighbors over forks, and like their whole thing, the Hobbit's whole thing is just living life easy, staying inside, the slow life, and I feel like that sounds great. And I feel like also the Hobbits' personalities, like a lot of them are just like kind of grumpy little English people, and I would be friends with them. I don't know. How about you? What part of Middle Earth are you most interested in living in?
I mean, the Shire is definitely great, and that seems like a good place to go if you want to have your best shot at a peaceful life.
Yes,
I guess that also depends on like, you know, which group of hobbits are you with, but if you're in the Shire, like that feels pretty secure. I guess also you mentioned like, are we talking about the time that Lord of the Rings takes place? Because my thought is like Rivendell and I can't remember the name of the place that Aragorn's like Rohan.
Oh, Rohan. But yeah,
he's not like.
But that's the main group of like humans.
Yeah, the human. That's right. That's the connection.
And there's also Gondor, because I think he's the king of Gondor.
Okay.
I think. I always got these names mixed up. We can Google it real quick.
I'm not gonna make anybody mad with that one, hopefully. But like thinking about how those places look and just like how beautiful
Gondor.
The elves like buildings and things like that are. I don't know. That seems like a cool place to live. But then we also have to think, if we're looking at a time period after Lord of the Rings, would it industrialize the same way that like our world did? Probably not. I don't think so.
Well, the
dwarves might, but
the dwarves might. The men might too, though.
That's true.
Honestly. And like the elves leave Middle Earth. Maybe and if it's meant to be like a kind of a mythology for modern day England, maybe
then we have to assume
maybe we are in Middle Earth.
And in that case,
never mind. Terrible time.
And the spiders did evolve properly. Okay, well, yeah.
But yeah, maybe, I don't know. That would be interesting to think of, like, what does Lord of the Rings look like? What does Middle Earth look like after the elves are gone?
Yeah.
Total genre shift. The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
What are you, like, okay, what are the main, we know, like, the pros, right? Superheroes.
Yes.
Well, what do you think about, like, the cons of, like, actually living in that world and, like, the threats?
Yeah. So it's weird with this one because it's presented as our world with the answer of, are there aliens? Yes.
True.
So, well, and I know, like, when you start out, like, early MCU, that's not necessarily what the main threat is. I mean, I guess you've got, like, Thor and Loki, and they regard them kind of as aliens. But there were other things that were already happening. But honestly, like, with Iron Man, we see some of those things already happening. Like, as far as, like, what the threats were in the first 2 movies. But, I mean, nobody's running around with electric whip things, but that I know of. But, like, I guess the big one, as you get to, like, the main movies that I feel like most people have seen, like, it being Thanos and things like that. I mean, I don't necessarily think that there are things like that out there. But, like, I don't know. It really just seems like other worlds coming into our world is the main threat in Marvel. That and people having technology and magic and using it irresponsibly. Yeah. Which that happens. So...
Yeah, I really did like, even though I didn't love all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I did really like how it explored, like, the, like, okay, if you're someone who's supposed to, like, do damage control in this world where there's all these different things coming into our world, like, what's that like? Yeah. I feel like it's tough. I think if I lived in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I would not live in a major city.
That's a great point. Stay away from New York.
Yes, I don't understand why anyone in the MCU still lives in New York.
Right. New York should be, like, isolated itself post-apocalyptic.
Yes.
In that world. Yeah, I think that's a good point. It's like if you're in another place, like, the only things that I guess we've seen happen that are happening in remote locations are, like, you can't avoid being snapped away. But, like, but then you just get brought back, so it's fine. Yeah, I don't know if I think the benefit of superheroes and cool stuff is worth the threat of all that unknown that can just come, like, wipe you out with no warning.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, if there's Thanos that can almost not be defeated, there's probably something worse.
Right, there's always a bigger bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to live in a superhero world.
Yeah, probably not. It's just too much.
It's too much.
Too many really awful things happen to people that just don't necessarily happen in those other speculative worlds.
Yeah.
Our third one is Narnia. So this is another one where we kind of have to think, which part of the time period of Narnia are we talking about? Are we talking about Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? At the end of the series, really, there is no more Narnia.
Right, the world ends.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah. And then, at the beginning, it's, I don't know.
There's also kind of Narnia.
That's right.
That's right. Being,
Right. So I guess we'll probably just talk about, like, the main middle of the series.
Yeah.
Like, we can kind of start, like, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe and just don't get to the last battle yet.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Yeah. So based on kind of your recollection and impressions of it, what would you say, like, the main threats are?
Well, definitely the White Witch, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who there are other threats out there. Like, as you get into like the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, like, there's just, like, mysterious, like, there's that island where the gold turns Eustace into a dragon.
Yes.
And, like, there's like environmental dangers and, like, traps and curses and things. Yeah, I think there's other monsters too, but I don't.
Yeah, that's true. It's almost like, I mean, this is I'm going to have to explain this after I say it. It's not going to make sense by first year. But it's kind of almost like the MCU in a way that it's like there are a lot of variable things. Like with all those islands, like there's a different thing on each island. There's all these monsters and things you don't know about. It's not really like the MCU specifically, but just thinking about like the variety of things you just don't know until you get there.
Yes. It does feel more like varied than like Middle Earth does.
Yes. And then you've got a lot of political things going on. Because like Prince Caspian, mainly the threat was like, that was really just kind of political.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't remember there being like that the antagonist was like specifically a magical being or something.
I don't remember Prince Caspian as well as some of the other books. But I know like in The Horse and His Boy, like part of that entity is, or not entity, part of the problem in that book is they're like just trying to escape the people who like want to capture them. It's not like a super nefarious, I think.
That's true. No, I think that matches what I'm remembering.
It's been a long time since I read Narnia.
In the Silver Chair, you've got the serpent, like green lady.
That's true.
Kind of person. But she's pretty isolated. Like, she also seems kind of easy to avoid. Like, if you just don't mess with her.
If we were to be isekai in Narnia, we could just avoid all the problems.
Right. We're not the ones being summoned to Narnia to, like, save the world.
Right.
We're
if we just we just sneak into the oh my gosh, what's it called? The wardrobe. Right. He's looking. Right. I will say, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, that ocean they reach at the very end, and like the way the water is described and the stuff they've seen, I would love to see that in real life. I as far as like of the Narnia books, like things I would want to be at physically. It's specifically the ocean in Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and when they're like walking through and there's like all these flowers and stuff, and like the water is like crazy and like tastes good. I think. I just remember the description of that. I was like, I want to be there so bad.
Yes. And then when they get to the end, like the country, the Aslan's country, or the far country. I don't remember how they say it, but like that's country. Also really interesting. Like with it just being like this endless like wave kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. I think like Voyage of the Dawn Treader is one of my favorite of the Narnia really cool. ones. So it's like, there's a lot of good stuff like world-wise there. Another thing that I think is funny about Narnia, so like if we're talking about Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, like even though when you start it's like Jadis is like over everything and it's really snowy, but there's so many other things that are still more charming about Narnia than are about our world that I'm almost like I kind of think I would still like, I don't know,
even if it's always winter and never Christmas,
especially like because of their like, it seems like in general also like they have so much hope that this prophesied thing is going to come to pass, and it's like with that in mind I'm like it wouldn't be so bad I guess if you're like maybe in my lifetime that'll be what happens, but it also
does feel cozy.
But I also think about like the Wood Between the Worlds.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of, if you consider that like the Narnia book series, like that being included, it almost makes me wonder like, are all of C.S. Lewis's things just like different pools
in the world? Cosmere before the Cosmere?
I know, that's what I was like. It is kind of like the Cosmere.
That would also be cool, just to like jump into the different portals.
Because the place that Diggory goes when he like releases Jadis, that seemed like a really interesting world. I mean, obviously not one you'd want to be in because it like had a whole downfall.
Yeah,
it seemed like some bad stuff went down, but I just think I don't know. I just think it's interesting.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. All that being said, though, how do you feel about like the pros and cons? Like, does one outweigh the other?
It is just such an interesting place, and I feel like there's like endless stuff to, especially when you think of the Wood Between the World and like Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I'm like, I would love to like explore some of that stuff.
Yeah,
and I would put it above the MCU because the MCU is just our world, but with more dangers. Yeah, but Narnia is kind of exciting.
Yeah. There's just something different about it. Yeah, I mean, like, I think thinking about how the series ends, I also think, like, C.S. Lewis hearing this would be like, no. Like, that's not the point. But part of me is just like, if we just take, like, little snippets, I think it would be a cool place to go to. Like, not necessarily, like, trying to stay there for the whole, like, also knowing that it's going to end. It's like, well, what do you do after that? But, yeah, I don't know.
like the whole thing of people are like, what did the Pevensey kids do when they come back and they've been kings and queens for decades, and now they're like back to being 14.
Right.
It sounds pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Our next one is another genre change back to a different genre, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
The Star Wars world is the biggest, I think. I mean, the MCU is huge, but Star Wars is an entire galaxy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, oh man, you've got a lot of threats with Star Wars, though. You've got, this also depends on what time period you're there. But then you've got characters in the main franchise that are there the whole time. So I guess we can consider all of it. Because you've got droids, you've got clones, and the Sith. And really just anyone with capabilities that has nefarious intent.
Yeah, and like the entire Empire.
Yeah. So there's a lot to fear with Star Wars. I don't know. What are your thoughts on like main pros and cons?
I'm watching Andor right now. I haven't finished it. And I don't want to live in that time period of like rebellion and like, but also they do a really good job of making it feel realistic. Like making it feel like, like somewhat analogous to real world rebellions and stuff, which I also don't want to live through. Right? Because war is not good to experience firsthand or secondhand. Anyway, I don't know why I clarify. Anyway, but the meeting all the different aliens and seeing all the different planets, that would be cool. Yeah, I like even just like walking around Tatooine and like talking to all those different little aliens. I feel like would be really fun. Yeah, or like going to the that little bar where Han Solo is. The cantina. Yes, I feel like that would be fun. Yeah, that's another one that it would probably be more fun to just like go in there and kind of look around and be able to maybe come back. Yeah, because if you rather than there, just like go there. Yeah. Yes, if you live there, then you can't avoid the effects of the Empire. Right, and your planet could just get disintegrated. Yes, and that would be so. Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to live there. Yeah, but it would be so cool to like check it out. Yeah, especially if you can like, I don't know, if you could be a Jedi. Like, that's awesome. Yeah, that's the thing I think that makes or breaks it the most. Like there are definitely places that I would want to go. Like I think Naboo and Kashyyyk are really like interesting planets. Which one is Kashyyyk? That's where the Wookiees live. Oh, okay, nice. Which I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, what's the rest of that planet like? And Endor, but I like the Ewoks. I know Ewoks are a divisive topic. I like Ewoks. I didn't know they were divisive. I think they're so adorable. I think people just get really annoyed by them. But it's also like the Jar Jar. That's divisive too, because he's really annoying, but he's also, I don't know. Yeah. Some might say he's a little funny, but I don't like Jar Jar. I love the Ewoks. Yeah. Because I think they're cute. But the thing that makes or breaks it is, do you get to have the Force? Right. I think. Because it's like, if you don't get to either like have the benefit of being able to use the Force or use a lightsaber, then it's like, well, then it's just kind of like, a little vacation to be like, oh, a different planet, but I don't know, life would not be as exciting. No, or it would be too exciting, perhaps. Oh, perhaps. But then you have, I don't know, some form of defense, but also maybe still too exciting. Yeah. I don't know. There's limitations to like being a Jedi, so maybe I wouldn't want that. But it would be better than being the Ewok. That's true. Yeah, what do you get Isekai in as? Oh, that's still a person Isekai or as an Ewok into Star Wars. Yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, as a Jedi, totally different story. Yes. All right, so we've kind of talked about the pros and cons of all four. How would you rank them? Oh, how would I rank them? Yeah. Okay, yes, I think. I think Narnia, because I want to see that ocean in the far country. Yeah. Yeah. And then Middle Earth, and then Star Wars, and then MCU. That's my ranking. Yeah. I think I would say I would also probably put Narnia at the top. Just because it's like, I don't know. Also because it's just very medievally. It is very medievally. So is Middle Earth, but I don't know. Narnia, you get, I don't know. Just in some ways you get more of that. Maybe not. You get more of the fantastical creatures. It is more fantastic. In some ways, yeah. So I would say Narnia.
I would actually probably say Star Wars next. I don't know.
Okay.
There's just so many interesting places in that galaxy. And then Middle Earth, and then MCU.
Yeah, sorry, MCU.
Yeah, but like
no, I mean, unless if I get to be Thor,
right?
Then sure, I get. Well, Thor's life also is terrible. Who's having a great time? If I get to be. See, even actually, I was thinking through the heroes, and their lives are all pretty terrible too.
Yeah.
Maybe Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
She has it.
Hawkeye gets a fairly happy-ish ending.
Yeah.
And then, or you could be Mantis. Everything's great.
I could be Mantis, and then the MCU is fine.
It's great.
Yeah, because a lot of the other ones, it's like, I was like, Spider-Man? No. Iron Man?
No. Yeah.
Captain America, his sort of time.
I don't like know
how his ends.
Yeah. Do you want to just have complete regression of all the personal progress you've made?
Yeah.
Oops.
But
anyway. All right. Well, those are our thoughts. If you have a different ranking and you think that ours are insane, please let us know in the comments. Or if there's another world that you think would be cool to consider, or just other features of these that we didn't think about, let us know. And we'll see you next time.